Well, hello, I'm live. So, what an amazing episode of Doctor Who. Yes, the Master kicked ass. Actually, I quite like him, actually. He's absolutely insane. I think they've set out the story arc for this series, and which has been sort of really interesting. He destroyed Gallifrey. So, where do we start? Well, it started off from last week's Spyfall part one, which I really did enjoy last week's episode. I'm just sorting technical stuff out. I wish I could use this bloody useless sonic screwdrivers. So, we ended up at. Right, here we go. So it was sort of really interesting, really. I'm quite taken aback with Doctor Who. It started off really fast. The three assistants, I'm sort of getting into now. How it's sort of going along with them. Hello, Michael. Good to hear from you. How are you? Tonight's episode was superb, wasn't it? What's happened to Gallifrey? And who are the Time Lords, and their whole existence has been a lie. I mean, that's a lot going on there, isn't it? Hello, yes. Awesome episode. I couldn't get enough of it tonight. Definitely going to watch that again. I don't know. I love the guy as who's playing the Master. Hang on. Hello, Ross King. It's nice. Welcome to the channel. Hello. I don't know. He said he destroyed it because they'd been lying apparently about their entire existence of Time Lords. So I think we've got the story arc set out now. Hang on. Hello, Dog Quake. How are you, bud? Tonight's episode, but Ross, what happened to Gallifrey? Ross King. I'm not going to lie, the episode was pretty boring until that ended. I know. Well, I thought the episode it were pretty standard, wasn't it? How it was sort of running along. They were all running about places, and like when they were on the plane and they saw them plaques with the names on, I was like, "Well, how's that there?" And then the Doctor were like jumping through time from that other dimension of the Kazavan that are spies around. The world, around the universe, obviously ready for some kind of invasion, and they were going to intermix with our DNA or whatever like that. I mean, all that was pretty standard, but when we got into the old Gallifrey thing, now that took this episode up to the next level. I will say that Jodie, she really got into it this week. She's coming out as the Doctor now. I mean, I've got to admit, we're 2 episodes in, and I'm quite impressed with what I've seen so far. I just hope they can keep this up for the next 8 episodes, or 9 episodes. Right, hang on. I'm not going to lie, the episode until that ending. Ross, there were a lot of places because the plot needed them to go there. Yeah, it did. Well, I found it all came nicely together. And then when she were like traveling back through time and sort of like when she made the video put that video on the phone to tell them how to control the plane and why the plaques were there. And from the Second World War, the radio woman, and her from the Victorian times. It was sort of interesting. I know some people are going to say it was quite. I'm not going to go into the old PC thing of it. I enjoyed this for what this was. I thought it was quite a well written episode. I did think it matched last week, but the ending, wow, the ending was absolutely superb. I just didn't know what to do with it. With the end, what did he do to Gallifrey? That's what I'm more interested in. The rest of it, I couldn't be bothered. He was a great master, him. I mean, he seemed more insane than normal as well. Like, he just, like, a screw is totally loose now. It's like we have a sort of desperate master. Ross, I hope her serious acting is better than her whimsical acting because I know she can do better. Well, she is a good actress. I've seen her in some of her other stuff and she's really good. I liked her in Attack of the Block. Hello, Osman. How are you? We're on about tonight's Doctor Who. Absolutely superb. But I don't want to go into the story. I don't think the Time Lords are dead. I mean, they killed them off before, didn't they? At Time War, you know. But at least he said he did it to them. So what are the Time Lords? What have they been up to? You know. I mean, she went there. I mean, it really bothered her as well. I like the scene on the TARDIS when they're asking her where she come from. And just at the end, she just stood there quietly, like, you know, because there's more. What is the big secret? And even when Master got took away back, because even then he managed to screw her over. That I know the answer and you're going to have to find it out. You know, I actually thought this guy played a good Master. You know, I really did. I think Doctor Who hopefully could be on the right track. But hang on. I'll get to you in a minute, Jack. Hang on. What can the Master do to Godfrey that inside the Daleks can barely do? I don't know. I think the Master's more dangerous than the Daleks. But he did run off from them, didn't he? When he was Derek Jacobi when he invaded Gallifrey. Thoughts on the laser show? Yeah, it would. Yeah, I wondered like with laser show last week. I thought, are they going to bring him in for part 2? You know, so I don't know. It was a bit cheesy that one. It laser show, you know. And then didn't he have some kind of cufflinks as well? Because they were like firing and things at that humanoid model thing which they were using, you know. It was a bit sort of cheesy, but I don't really know. I mean, the laser show, I mean, oh God, I bet they're going to bring them out to sell now. You know, the laser show, that'll be out as memorabilia with an LED light at the end. Yeah, I mean, what a bit ridiculous, wasn't it, laser show bit? But all in all, it wasn't a bad episode. I thought Lenny Henry as the villain, he didn't really offer much, did he really? Even what he did to his mother, and I didn't find like the Vox character, you know, who was meant to be him at Owen's Facebook, sort of based on him. I didn't really thought he was pretty pointless in the whole episode. I mean, last week he got a bit of a build, but I didn't think there were much this week. The bloody light being thingies were very just there. Yeah, and they could have done more with them. I think there could have been more. The Casavan, I think they were called. They could have been a lot more. I mean, all in all, I'm going to give this episode 92 out of it. Well, I normally do out of 5. I'll give this episode 4. You know, but then you had the extra half for the ending. I mean, the episode were pretty standard and it sort of matched last week's speed, but I found with the ending, it were mind-blowing, you know, and I'm hoping that somehow they're all going to end up back at Gallifrey with a Master and some other threat, which I found quite fascinating. So it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, what did he do to Gallifrey? I really want to see what he did, but I don't think the Time Lords are dead, you know, do you? Do you think the Time Lords are gone? I really can't see Time Lords, you know, being destroyed. You know, because I don't forget Rassilon's out there. Do you remember with Peter Capaldi? Rassilon got banished from Gallifrey. I was hoping that they'd bring him back as a big villain protagonist at some point. You know, Rassilon, which, you know, so, but what's happened? But what can the Master do? What the Daleks couldn't do? So he must have done something. But he has tried to destroy Gallifrey before, you know, and the Deadly Assassin, he nearly destroyed it then when he were after ultimate power. Do you remember that? You know, so, hang on, what's this? I'm scared, Ross, I'm scared that we're only getting proper good episodes at the beginning and end. Yeah, this is it. Now that we've had the two big saga, where's it going to take us from next week? I said I'm going to give it 4 to 5 episodes before I get negative about it. I'm not going to jump on this and just panic, you know. But I think Jodie has to now make the Doctor her own character now, which I think she came across as being quite good tonight. I really do. I mean, I did enjoy tonight's episode, but there were parts where it did lack stuff. I just don't, honestly, I don't think there were any point of Lenny Henry being in it, to be honest. Hi, Nathan, how are you? Thoughts on Jodie? I thought she brought a performance to another level episode. I thought she brought a performance to another level this episode. Yeah, I do. I agree with you, Nathan. I thought she was good than last week. I mean, last season got a real panning, didn't it? But she seems to be like when she stood her own against the Master. I thought she really came through, which I quite like about it. I mean, he had her on Eiffel Tower and he were basically throttling her, but she wasn't having it. And she played him, didn't she? She totally played him. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, the assistants, I do like Bradley Walsh's character. Love Capaldi as the Doctor just behind Beck. I agree, Osman. I miss Capaldi. I really do. I think he should have done another season. Ross, Jodie showed very good sign, but she's been forced to be very, very Tennant-esque. Yeah, that actually, it's not. And what I might do, I might watch a Tennant episode tonight, actually, after this stream, and see where we going from here. But honestly, tonight's episode, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm more interested what happened to Gallifrey, I really am interested what happened on Gallifrey, and that's going to be interesting. What did he do? I mean, the old place, like the Citadel, all of it was just destroyed. He said everything had happened to it. It burnt to the ground. It'd been nuked. It had a lot happen to it. So, unless he had allies, I don't know. But Gallifrey were in a pocket universe, didn't it? Because the mainstream universe didn't want it back because they'd had enough of all interfering they'd been up to. I mean, the Time Lords, they're not exactly the benevolent race they've been made out to be, So, what did he find out? I mean, what's the big secret? You see, this big secret could end up screwing up Doctor Who continuity. So he said everything, his words were, he said, everything you know has been a Time Lord's been a lie. The whole existence of our species has been a lie. And I'm dreading that they're going to tear up 50 years of Doctor Who Time Lord history and totally screw it up, But they might do something really amazing. Ross, I'd much rather it be just Graham as the companion because Ryan and Yaz are pointless. At least Graham brings the best lines. Well, I think Bradley Walsh, I think he's great. And he works really well with her. Ryan, I don't know why. To be honest, I wasn't a big fan of Ryan in last series. I mean, the other, and Yaz, there's so many. I mean, it'd be all right if they just guest appeared. I mean, they brought Yaz's family into it again. You remember, because they used to do that, didn't they, in other seasons, where they bring the companion's family into it to have that aspect to it. But I'm getting a bit fed up of all that now. I think it works with Billy Piper's mother, didn't it? I thought that really works well, But with this, I don't know. But Bradley Walsh is really suited to this. He's really suited to it. But it's like I said, I think for me, it was the Gallifrey thing tonight. It just had me at the edge of my seat. I think the episode was very good, but it was just standard run of the mill, wasn't it? It's going to be hard, Nathan. It's going to be hard to push the Gallifrey drama aside for the next episode, which looks very Monster of the Week. Yeah, well, that's what I'm dreading, Nathan, because we could be back to 3 or 4 episodes of Monster of the Week. But I've heard there's going to be a lot of two-parters in this. Could be two-parter Monster of the Fortnight episodes, Osman, I've not watched these 2 episodes. Honest, not sure if it's available. Yes, I've not seen any advertising. Oh well, oh yeah, the spoilers, Osman. Sorry about that. Spoilers. It's been a big one tonight, though, Osman. A big one. And Ross, although that what people thought about the 50th, people thought that destroyed the old Gallifrey idea. Anything with Gallifrey and the Master involved, I'm down. I agree. I agree. And they played out the Time War thing for quite a good few years, wasn't it? It was a good 7 or 8 years, didn't it? Till that sort of the Time War thing got resolved, you know? Spank Me Santa. Hello, Spank Me Santa. Need more monster on screen here. So I loved him. To me, he was totally unhinged, wasn't he? I mean, he's like whatever's up after he shot himself in the when they both met each other and they went against the Doctor. It was sort of like, when did this regeneration happen? How you want to know, don't you? But he seems a bit unhinged, doesn't he? I mean, it just seems that he's at a point. I think he's more dangerous now. He reminds me a bit of Anthony Ainley's master. I'm not saying I'm not comparing them, but what I'm sort of going with is that he was just pure evil, and this master, he's just out for chaos, isn't he? It's like he don't like since he destroyed Gallifrey, it's just totally unhinged him, But at least we're gonna have to find out. Ross, yeah, Nathan Monster of the Week for the next 6 episodes, and then some actual plot involved. Well, I think we're gonna get like. I remember it trailer for this season. Like when I saw the new trailer before it started, it said something's coming for you, Doctor, from your past. So I assume it next. I'd say in a fortnight we're gonna get some hints to Gallifrey. Where you get them little hints dropped for a couple of minutes, you're gonna get something like that. So it's going to be quite interesting to see where that's coming from. But what did he do? So did he destroy the Eye of Harmony? Did he lay waste to the place? Osman, I'm not worried about spoilers. We'll watch when I can. Well, Gallifrey's been destroyed, mate, by the new master. He wiped the place out. From what we saw, he totally leveled the place. I mean, he's just done it. It should be on BBC America today at some point, I think. Osman, all available. Spank Me Santa even sounds like John Sim. I think he's 100% after Sim, yeah. But you remember Anthony Ainley had that insanity, didn't he? He was just evil. And even with John Sim's character, you're right. He had that insane madness about him. But there was a bit of a call with him. Because you remember that the specials? It teamed up with the Doctors to stop the Time Lords from coming through, didn't they? But I can't see the Time Lords being wiped out. The two, even Master's scared of his own race to a point. And don't forget the Time Lords manipulated the Master to such a degree, didn't they? His entire life when he, that drumming sound all for that moment. You can't blame. Sometimes, I mean, you do feel a bit sorry for him, don't you? Because he has been used most of his life, all chaos and destruction. Ross, I love to see a story where the Doctor actually kills the Master. Well, it's like Holmes and Moriarty, isn't it? Will it ever happen? Will the Doctor? I mean, will there be a final fight between them both? To finish it, because I mean, this thing is, I mean, the Master is. It's like Batman and Joker, isn't it? Joker and his Batman. It's like a foil off each other. But the Master, this guy playing the Master. I forgot his name now. He's superb. I think he's great. Hang on, Osman. So much for Gallifrey Falls. No more. Yeah, Gallifrey Falls. Yeah, that's true. Ross King, I like 13. Just get so done with him after all this time trying to get him to be good, but he can't. He's he's the Master. You can't have him being good. You can't have him being good. Oh, his name's it's just come up. Sasha Darwin. Superb as the Master. I liked it with the Nazis, when she said you don't exactly look hairy, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was superb. It was a good episode. I mean, yeah, again, the assistants don't quite have the impact, so I'm more interested what she was doing. than them. They were just running around everywhere, and it was a good episode. Don't get me wrong, but there was some flaws in there. But I think she were marvelous tonight. I just hope she can keep this up. I think what it is as well, you're getting used to her now as well. I think because first season really got panned, didn't it? And I saw her on an interview after first. I did feel for her, but it was the writers. It wasn't her fault. I think if she can unleash herself, I don't know. She could be good. Spank Me Santa. Any idea what the timeless child is? It could be the Doctor. I don't know. The timeless child. So the timeless child is a big clue to this. The timeless child is a massive thing with this tonight. And obviously we're gonna see the timeless child, I reckon, by the end of this season. The Master's back. He will be back. I think he's is he the main villain for the story arc, or is there something behind him? But what's the secret of the Time Lords? What is it that everything they know and believe in and been brought up is a lie? So about their entire species. So it's going to be interesting to find out. And who is the timeless child? Yeah. Sacha Dhawan. Yeah. Well, I think he's great. I really do think he's awesome as the Master. I really do. And, I hope he's back. I think he'll be back in the final 2 or 3 episodes. But is it Monster of the Week next week? Or is it a standard story? But it's the assistants. Ryan and Yaz, they're all right. I don't mind them popping up in the odd episode. But I think Aaron Bradley Walsh should be put down to work together. They were superb what they did. I think he just maybe it's his acting experience. I don't know. But we're 2 episodes in. I do prefer it when there's just one assistant. Because do you remember the Tom Baker years? He went through that, didn't he, with Peter Davison? I'm not knocking Tom Baker, but in the later seasons, he had a lot of assistants. Do you remember there were that season where there were Adric and Tegan and Taylor and Nissa? There were loads of them, weren't there? They had 3 or 4 assistants. It just never works. I think possibly 2 could be enough. A foil for the assistant to bounce off, but I don't know. But let's see. I don't think Ryan can act, to be honest. Right. Timeless child making the Master do all the bad days. Has it been explained why he went bad? I don't know. Well, I assume the Master were used, weren't they? Because when he was a child as the Time Lords, you've got to look into the vortex, haven't you? And some Time Lords go insane. And he heard that drumming, but that was the Time Lords from the future putting that into his head to open the rift after Time Wars with that Star of Gallifrey. So I sort of get why he's pretty pissed with them. Because all that chaos and that were all down to them messing his head up, wasn't it? So, hang on, Osman. Hey, just check the schedule above her tonight. Back to her. Oh, you're in for a good one tonight, Osman. I envy you. Enjoy. Spank Me Santa. He became insane because that's it. The untempered schism, yeah. The untempered schism when he was 9-year-olds at the Time Lord Academy. Yeah, because they've all got to look into it, haven't they? When they go to Academy, because it's a big thing. So, it's the more. But, how did he destroy Gallifrey? What did he do? His entire race. And they're probably the most advanced race in the universe anyway. Everything, everything. Gallifrey stunning. Even seeing Arcadia completely destroyed. That was kind of beautiful in a way. It was. The picture art was awesome for that. The whole Arcadia thing. But what happened, I really don't know. We can fair. It's amazing, isn't it, that we went through this episode. We're not bothered about the actual Savini and Lenny Henry as the Facebook dude and and all that. We're not interested. We're more interested in what happened, what he did to Gallifrey. I want to know when he regenerated as well from Missy. Because I was hoping Missy would turn up against this female doctor, which I think would have been so good for them two to take them on. But the master is inhabiting this guy's body. He did get rid of his body, didn't he? Shrunk it with his compression eliminator. What is it? I forgot what it's called. But so I don't know. But trust me, expect a big twist with him. Something big is coming this series with the master. Spankman Santa. Maybe using armored Daleks, only race I can think of that can beat the Time Lords. Yeah. I mean, they threw the old Omega arsenal at them and they still survived it, didn't they? They went through time-altering timelines to stop it. It still didn't stop them, did it? Daleks. I mean, I'd love to see Time War. Like, I would have loved to have seen the entire season just on the Time War. Because I'd like to have seen the battle TARDISes and all this. Because don't forget, in the Tom Baker and the Invasion of Time, Gallifrey's surrounded by photon transduction barriers, isn't it? Which protected it from outside races and that. So I don't know. But something's definitely happened. But the Time Lords aren't finished. They are not finished. They can't get rid of them. Missy was awesome. Missy, Michelle Gomez was marvelous. Yeah, I loved that series. When she first appeared, and everybody thought they were in heaven and all this, when they were in that Gallifreyan hard drive, I just thought, and it was except for the old Cyberman thing, but I just thought it was superb. I really did, and I so hoped she'd come up in the series. But Sacha Dhawan is amazing. I think he's made this. He's really, you can tell he's thrown himself into this whole thing. But what did he do to Gallifrey? That's all I care about in this episode. Spank me Santa. Imagine a Star Wars style movie about the Time War. Well, imagine a 6-part serial completely dedicated to Time War. That's what I think they should have gone there and put the money in. It's got so much. There's still so much we missed out on the Time War, and the Time War nearly destroyed reality. But the Daleks, to get the technological capability to actually take them on but it's the sheer number of Daleks, though, wasn't it? And the Daleks adapt. They adapt, and once you think you've killed one of them, there's more of them. So their whole survival is to survive and dominate. So you're never going to get rid of Daleks. Never. I don't know if they're in this season. I know Cybermen are up for an appearance, which is going to be interesting. I'd like to see some Tyrants make an appearance at some point. I'd like to know more about their culture and the War Master and the cloning and going back to the planet Sontar and stuff. And I'd like to get into some Routons as well. The Sontar and Routon War. I really would like to sort of dig around more into that. Which I'd be really sort of looking into. I'm a big fan of Sontarans. A billion Daleks. I think there's trillions of Daleks, And they said last week that Unit had been disbanded. I know with Torchwood. I hope not, because they can't finish Unit off. I always wanted a Unit TV series, which I've never understood why the BBC have not done a Unit TV series. I've always wanted them to do a Unit TV series, which, to be honest, I would think would be absolutely marvelous. Or like get another actor in to play the Brigadier, like the young Brigadier setting up Unit, because Unit's like S.H.I.E.L.D., isn't it? It's a marvelous organisation, and they have a load of technology as well. Didn't we get a bit of Time War during the war, Dr. Osborne? Yeah, we did. We did. We got quite a bit of it, actually, didn't we, with that sort of episode? But I think I would have liked to have seen more on the front lines, when they were altering timelines and bringing in, the Omega Arsenal, the Chaos Child, you know, and the rest of because the Daleks had allies, didn't they? There were other races that joined with the Daleks. But I mean, it's come out with Time Lords. A lot of races don't want them there because they've been manipulating in the background and interfering with everything. So, I mean, the Time Lords are not the benevolent race they're meant to be. I mean, the Time Lords started the Time War, didn't they? The Time War started in Genesis of the Daleks when they sent the Doctor back to alter their history. That, to me, is when the Time War started. And they're retaliating. Look, and I like the Daleks, and they are malevolent, but I think there's a lot they could do with Daleks as well. It'd be good to what if we got a race of Daleks that had feelings that were quite human? You're not human, but they were like a different race of that. They were like benevolent Daleks, that had broken away from them, and they had personalities and names. I'd like to see a lot more of that. It'd be sort of interesting. They break out of the nature, because I think Dalek Sec had it right. He said we've got to evolve. Can't carry on where we're going. Spank me Santa, yeah, for about 5 minutes. A brilliant 5 minutes, but only 5 minutes, unfortunately. Yeah, I quite honestly, there was a lot of running about, which I think it was more interesting. She was definitely the queen of tonight's episode. She was. She took it. I mean, she was the Doctor. For me, she made the Doctor. If she can keep that up, she was the Doctor. She's growing with the character now. She's getting comfortable. But the assistants, Bradley Walsh, I sort of take him quite seriously. But I don't know. Maybe it's their acting experience with other two assistants. I just find them a bit lackluster, I don't know. Osman, Revenge of Davros. Well, he's out there somewhere. They'll bring him back, trust me. Rusty. Yeah, that's what I mean. We got like a planet of Rusties. I like Rusty. I wanted Rusty to make a bit of a comeback. He would okay. I really did like Rusty, But it'd be nice to see, like something a bit different with Daleks. I'm not on about what they did for Star Trek, like the Borg, So tonight's episode, I've got to admit, the last 5 minutes, and also the scenes with him as the Master as well. But the plot, I'd say the plot were quite standard. A race from another unit. Do you remember the Silence? They were they if they've always been there, they reminded me a bit of the Silence, and they were totally shit. They were on that Silence. They tried to make a big thing. They were terrible. And there were no impacts with these aliens tonight at all, were there? I mean, they were okay, but the whole thing of the Master and the jumping through time thing and meeting certain historic characters and creating scenarios, and how he would just go around compressing people, and shrinking them and murdering them. He just didn't give a damn about human life at all. But he needs to get off it. I mean, every time he's always trying to destroy the Doctor and that, But I think he pulled a blinder tonight. I really do. Especially when she turned up there, he left a message for her, saying, well, it's down to you to find out. And I thought, you've screwed her well over. Well, obviously till the end of the season. He will be back, or he'll be playing something in the background. I don't know when, but I think he's one of the big villains for this series. Spank me, Santa. Honestly, I thought the light things were just Cybermen. Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking that when I was watching it, the ghosts and that. I actually thought that there were nothing new with them, was there? And I said this last week. I said the same thing last week. There was nothing new with that they're trying to come through. And even though they were getting in the political message of, these like corporations last week. And Lenny Henry, I really do like Lenny Henry, but he just had no impact in this at all tonight, did he? As this villain of a corporation. And even when he like did that to his own mother, there were no impacts with it. When he did when he did the old DNA thing to his own mother, it was just all pointless. I mean, she just sat there, didn't she, unimpressed with it all. And I found that a bit, well, it was a bit silly, that was, because they were trying to make him out like he was so evil and nasty and that, but it just didn't work. But there's a few flaws. I mean, I'm not saying there were a couple of flaws in this episode, but it was up and down. But I've got to say there were more positives in it for me. As long as you focus on the master, the doctor, it worked. It really did. I mean, he's just totally unhinged now, isn't he? It's like the gloves are off, and that's what I liked about it. He's unleashed fully now. I loved his TARDIS in the house. I thought his TARDIS was superb. Spank Me Santa didn't really understand the spy X either. Why did they have target spy? Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, wouldn't it be after more like world leaders and people that are influential? Instead of just killing off loads of spies, because all secret services in the world had figured out they were there. But where's UNIT? WhatsApp, they said UNIT were disbanded, so where's UNIT? Because that's their job to deal with these like outside threats. So I hope there's an explanation for that. I'd like Captain Jack to turn up in one episode down the line. I really would. It was rumoured last year he were going to make a comeback. I really would like to see some kind of Torchwood action. But yeah, brilliant. Very happy. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. I give it an extra half for the ending. But out of the episode was standard. It equaled last week. Just it was a bit better. But the ending blew it out. But can they keep that up? Can they keep that sort of wow factor at the end of the scene? I mean, they did it last week when he revealed he was master. I mean, it were all over social media. Everybody were like hooked on it. The master's back. But the spy thing, it didn't really work. I think they were trying to, that's why it went laser shoes. And do you say when they were in tuxedos and all that as well? It just didn't work, did it? And when he went on that poster, on that screen, going, I've deleted your bank accounts and I've deleted your lives and all that. It was just a bit, it didn't have any effects. It's been done before, hasn't it? It reminded me when Master was Saxon, and it was like this background, it meant to be this background figure, and there was just no impact with it. The speech was hilarious, though. We have your mother's names. Yeah. So that's it. But all in all, it wasn't bad. It was better than normal. So, well, what's going to happen next week? It's going to be interesting. So I think I've done 40 minutes. I think that's it. That's tonight's stream done. Just a quick one. So next, thought any gang would be on tonight, but obviously they'll watch Sim. Guys, I will be on after Doctor Who next Sunday for an hour. So that's it. Yeah, the Solo One podcast will be out on Thursday. It is up on iTunes. It's free, I think. Yeah, I think yeah, but it's on iTunes and it's on YouTube and other stuff. I will leave a link for that. That should be out on Thursday. There's sci-fi news, a lot of stuff on that. So, guys, I will next live stream will be Thursday. And what's this? Hang on. Spank Me Santa. Yeah. Hang on. Right. So, yeah. Spank Me Santa. See you next Sunday. Yeah. No, I will be on for longer. It's just I've got to get up in the morning. Busy day. So yeah, there will be a Solo One podcast through the week. That'll be out Thursday. I will put it up on YouTube, but it is on iTunes and loads of other formats. It's free, so that's cool. So I will see you next week, guys. Thank you for tuning in and let me know. Yeah, I think we're all quite happy with tonight's episode, and yeah, so do the Doctor. I think I'm going to watch some Doctor Who tonight. All right, Osman, you enjoy Doctor Who, and I will see you on Sunday, bud. And yeah, guys, please share this and subscribe. And yeah, definitely roll on next Sunday. If it's like this, I'm going to be happy. So, on the road to Gallifrey. Yeah.